Listen, what if I told you Hollywood destroyed hundreds of millions of dollars in rare automotive history just for a few seconds of screen time? We drool over these tire-smoking movie cars, but their true stories are far more shocking than any script. Today, we are unlocking the garage to the top 10 legendary cinematic sports cars that actually exist. We are exposing the real horsepower, insane stunt secrets, and the surviving vehicles, now worth absolute fortunes. You will never believe the staggering reality of our number one pick. Truly, stay until the exact end to discover the ultimate multi-million-dollar survivor, and hit that subscribe button right now before we burn some serious rubber. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the absolute epitome of British spy elegance. It is the 1964 Aston Martin DB5 from the James Bond classic Goldfinger. When Sean Connery first slid into the leather seats of this silver birch masterpiece, it instantly became the most famous car in the entire world. Let us calm down. It defined the exotic category long before modern supercars even existed. It represented a level of tailored sophistication that American muscle cars of that specific era simply did not care about at all. But let us look at the real-world performance under that long, beautiful hood. It houses a 4.0-liter, naturally aspirated inline-six engine, producing roughly 282 horsepower. By today's standards, a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of around 8 seconds will not win you any drag races. Furthermore, its top speed maxes out at 145 miles per hour. However, the symphony of that inline-six engine is not a violent roar, but rather a refined metallic growl. Speaking of money, let us talk about the Survivor. The original effects car loaded with gadgets was lost for decades after being stolen from a hangar. However, the other authentic promotional car used for the movie sold at auction for a staggering $6.4 million. Yes, that is real. It remains the ultimate collector's dream. But if British elegance is not your exact style, get ready. Our next car trades the tailored tuxedo for a cowboy hat and a massive amount of loud tire-smoking American rebellion. At number 9, we have the 1977 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit. When Burt Reynolds blasted onto the screen dodging the sheriff, this black and gold machine became a massive cultural phenomenon. It single-handedly caused Trans Am sales to skyrocket by thousands of units. The iconic screaming chicken logo on the hood and the CB radio chatter perfectly defined the late 1970s outlaw attitude. It was the ultimate dream machine for every rebellious teenager across the entire country. However, here is a harsh Hollywood street reality. Due to strict emissions regulations, the massive 6.6-liter 400-cubic-inch V8 engine was severely choked. In the real world, it pushed out a measly 200 horsepower. It took over 9 seconds to hit 60 miles per hour, and the top speed barely scraped 115 miles per hour. But what it lacked in straight line speed, it easily made up for in handling and immense low-end torque for sliding around corners. Now, here is a wild stunt secret. Pontiac could not supply enough 1977 models for production, so the crew actually used 1976 cars and swapped the front clips. Quite interesting. Most of these vehicles were completely destroyed during the massive bridge jumps, but the legend lived on, and a surviving promotional car owned by Burt Reynolds himself later sold for nearly $500,000. That is impressive. You think the Bandit was the undisputed king of the chase? Just wait until you see the Green Machine that invented the modern car chase. Coming in at number 8 is the undisputed king of absolute cool. It is the 1968 Ford Mustang GT Fastback from Bullitt. This Highland Green beauty, driven by the legendary Steve McQueen, starred in what is widely considered the greatest, most visceral car chase in cinematic history. We all agree. Tearing through the incredibly hilly streets of San Francisco, it set the ultimate gold standard. There was no background music and no computer graphics. It was just the raw, aggressive roar of American V8 engines echoing loudly off city buildings. Under the hood of this heavy pony car is a huge 390 cubic inch V8 engine. It churns out a very respectable 320 horsepower and a massive 427 pound-feet of torque. In the real world, this Mustang could hit 60 miles per hour in roughly 7.8 seconds, with a top speed of 130 miles per hour. Steve McQueen actually did a lot of the close-up stunt driving because he was a highly skilled professional driver. For multiple decades, the entire automotive world thought the hero car was totally lost to the scrapyard. But in a legendary survivor story, the main stunt car was discovered rusting away in a family garage in New Jersey, completely unrestored and proudly wearing all of its original movie battle scars. It crossed the auction block in 2020 and sold for a mind-blowing $3.4 million. Well-deserved. We have seen American muscle, but our next car proves that sometimes exotics come in the shape of a wedge. At number 7, we dive straight back into the world of intense espionage with the 1977 Lotus Esprit S1 from The Spy Who Loved Me. If the Aston Martin was about classic elegance, this Lotus was pure, unadulterated futurism. With its highly aggressive, wedge-shaped fiberglass body designed by Giorgetto Giugiaro, it looked exactly like an alien spaceship on wheels. And on the silver screen, it literally turned into a heavily armed submarine to successfully evade a pursuing enemy helicopter out over the open water. But let us shatter a Hollywood myth right now. The submarine car absolutely did not drive on land. It was a completely empty fiberglass shell equipped with basic electric motors, driven by a Navy SEAL in full scuba gear. Unbelievable. On the actual asphalt, the real-world performance relied on a tiny 2.0-liter inline-4 engine, producing just 160 horsepower. 0 to 60 miles per hour took a sluggish 8.4 seconds, which was a stark contrast to big American V8s. However, Lotus founder Colin Chapman had a strict philosophy. It was to simplify and then add lightness. The entire car weighed just under 2,000 pounds. In the real world, it could not outrun a Mustang in a straight line, but on a twisting mountain road, the mid-engine layout and telepathic steering made it handle exactly like a racing go-kart, easily leaving heavy muscle cars in the dust. Speaking of heavy muscle cars leaving things in the dust, prepare yourself for a massive horsepower myth. Rolling into our list at number 6 is the incredibly menacing 1970 Dodge Charger RT from The Fast and the Furious. Driven by Dominic Toretto, this terrifying black beast scared an entire generation of modern street racers. The unforgettable sight of that massive supercharger sticking straight out of the hood cemented its legendary status. The epic final drag race, where the heavy car violently pulls a massive wheelie right off the starting line, turned this machine into a modern cinematic automotive god. Truly epic. But it is time for some harsh street reality. While the movie openly claimed the car had 900 horsepower and held a 9-second quarter-mile record, it was a lie. The actual stunt cars used a mix of 440 Magnum and 383 V8 engines. And that massive supercharger, it was a totally fake hollow shell, bolted to the hood with an electric motor spinning the belt. Shocking. Also, pneumatic hydraulic wheelie casters were artificially used to launch the front end upward. Despite the movie magic, a real 1970 Charger RT, equipped with a genuine 426 Hemi 5.8, is a terrifying real-world machine. It naturally pushes out 425 horsepower and is capable of running a 13-second quarter-mile straight from the factory floor. It is a highly brutal, unsophisticated sledgehammer of a car. Dom's Charger is undeniably terrifying, but our next famous Mustang requires you to literally steal it in under 60 seconds just to afford it today. Crashing firmly into the top 5 is the legendary 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500, famously known as Eleanor. This masterpiece starred in the year 2000 remake of Gone in 60 Seconds. This car did not just quietly star in the movie, it absolutely stole the entire show from Nicolas Cage. With its highly aggressive custom body kit, loud side exit exhausts, and iconic pepper gray metallic paint, Eleanor completely redefined what a modern rest-a-mod American muscle car could truly be. Underneath the shiny Hollywood glamour, the real-world specifications of the hero cars built for the film are very serious business. They were not actually original Shelbys at all. Instead, they were highly modified 1967 Mustang fastbacks packed with custom racing suspension. They featured massive Ford 351 cubic inch Windsor crate engines, aggressively pumping out roughly 400 horsepower. With a top speed estimated over 150 miles per hour, they were specifically built to be driven hard and fast on camera. From a strict investment angle, Eleanor is absolute automotive royalty. Because of the incredible global impact of the action film, these specific movie cars are highly coveted by rich collectors. In fact, one of the main authentic hero cars used for close-ups and driven by Nicolas Cage himself was sold at auction for an astonishing $1 million. That is correct. Eleanor is clearly a visual masterpiece. But the next dark Mustang on our list belongs to a man you absolutely do not want to mess with. At number 4 is the ultimate unstoppable revenge machine. It is the 1969 Ford Mustang from the brutal action film John Wick. When a foolish gang makes the highly fatal mistake of stealing this specific vintage car, they instantly unleash the Baba Yaga. Big mistake. The car perfectly mirrors John Wick's actual personality. It is dark, it is highly brutal, it operates with absolute efficiency, and it is undeniably lethal the moment its tires touch the pavement. Let us clear up a major Hollywood vehicle myth right here. Throughout the entire movie, the car is repeatedly referred to as a Boss 429. However, any eagle-eyed gearhead will quickly tell you that the car on screen is actually a 1969 Mustang Mach 1. You can easily tell by the specific hood scoop design, the interior trim panels, and the exterior body lines. But do not let that technicality disappoint you, because the reality is just as terrifying as the myth. A real 69 Mach 1 equipped with a 428 Cobra Jet V8 is a wild street-brawling monster. It was officially rated at 335 horsepower, but heavily rumored to produce way more than 400 horsepower in reality. This machine is capable of ripping from 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds, with a top speed pushing 130 miles per hour. If you thought Wick's Mustang was highly dangerous, our next German car literally earned the nickname the Widowmaker. Entering the top 3 is the car that made the bad boys look incredibly good. It is the 1994 Porsche 911 Turbo 3.6 with the chassis code 964 from the blockbuster movie Bad Boys. In a vast sea of highly predictable American cop cars, seeing Will Smith and Martin Lawrence chasing down villains in a sleek black German supercar was a stunning visual revelation. So cool. It perfectly showcased the ultimate clash between raw American muscle and razor-sharp European exotics. Here is exactly where the danger factor heavily spikes. This specific Porsche was not just incredibly fast, it was notoriously terrifying to push to the limit, earning the dark nickname the Widowmaker. All 355 horsepower from its extremely rare 3.6-liter turbocharged flat-six engine was sent exclusively to the rear wheels. Furthermore, the massive turbocharger had a severe boost delay. You would step hard on the gas, wait a full second, and then the massive boost would violently snap the rear end out. In the real world, this exact car could rocket from 0 to 60 in a blistering 4 seconds. It pushed all the way to a frightening top speed of 174 miles per hour. And here is the ultimate Hollywood survivor fact. The extremely rare vehicle used on set was actually director Michael Bay's personal daily driver. Believe it or not, he sold it but bought it back years later. That specific Porsche is fast, But to break global world records, you definitely need a massive V12 engine. Taking the runner-up spot at number 2 is the truly breathtaking Aston Martin DBS V12 from the hit film Casino Royale. When Daniel Craig proudly took over as the new James Bond in 2006, he absolutely needed a modern car that properly matched his much grittier, highly brutal take on the famous spy. The DBS was the perfect answer. It was a stunningly gorgeous piece of British automotive sculpture, hiding a highly terrifying amount of mechanical violence underneath. The real-world performance of the DBS is simply staggering. It features a completely hand-built 5.9-liter naturally aspirated V12 engine that easily produces a massive 510 horsepower. It can absolutely obliterate the 0 to 60 sprint in just 4.3 seconds and keep pulling aggressively all the way to a top speed of 191 miles per hour. The exhaust note is pure auditory perfection, delivering a deeply resonant V12 scream that commands respect. But this specific car is most famous for an incredible Hollywood stunt secret. During the high-speed chase scene, the script called for the car to forcefully flip over. The stunt team set up an air cannon underneath to force it into a heavy roll. The dramatic result was so violent that the DBS flipped a staggering 7 times, breaking the official global Guinness World Record. Unbelievable. We have seen muscle and exotics, but our number 1 car literally altered the course of total motorsport history. Taking the ultimate undisputed crown at number 1 is the legendary Ford GT40 Mark II, famously featured in the masterpiece film Ford vs. Ferrari. While the movie brilliantly captures all the corporate human drama, the car itself is the true historic star. Exactly right. This specific machine was absolutely not built to look good on camera. It was heavily engineered with pure, unadulterated hatred to do exactly one single thing: absolutely destroy the dominant Ferrari racing team at the grueling 24 hours of Le Mans. The real-world performance specifications of the Mark II are simply mind-bending for the 1960s. Sitting right behind the driver's head is a gargantuan 7.0-liter, 427 cubic inch V8 engine, producing around 485 horsepower in a race car that weighed almost nothing. The GT40 could violently hit 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. It could easily achieve a highly terrifying top speed of over 210 miles per hour. Insane. The surviving original GT40s are no longer just fast cars. They are completely priceless historical artifacts of automotive war. An original race-winning GT40 Mark II is a highly coveted investment piece, strictly valued well over $10 million today, a massive fortune. It is the absolute pinnacle of unbridled speed, raw history, and ultimate cinematic glory, proving perfectly that sometimes real-world track engineering is far more spectacular and incredibly violent than any sort of modern digital movie magic could ever possibly invent. So there you have it. The definitive ranking of Hollywood's most legendary high-speed demons. From the raw tire-shredding muscle of Eleanor to the incredibly refined, record-breaking V12 violence of James Bond's Aston Martin. These are definitely not just simple movie props, they are truly historic mechanical masterpieces. The ultimate question remains, if you could only take the keys to one of these cinematic beasts, which one are you choosing? Drop your absolute dream car in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe.